Good morning. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. It's a nice breeze out here on the roadside. About a week ago, I deleted a video I had made pertaining to a song from 1968 by the name of Traces of Love. I just wanted to say that I didn't delete it because I didn't think the subject was important. I've been thinking about it again, and I think that the subject might be actually very important. And doesn't have anything to do with myself. It was a matter of very secretive family that I didn't know about, and the indications were that they were involved with crimes against women, and to me that's a serious concern. I've never thought of hurting any ladies ever, and at the time in 1968, as I had said in the previous message, that I liked drawing pretty ladies, and uh, one idea I had was to use tracing paper. I didn't get it from a store. I got it from shoe boxes. It used to be the shoes came in boxes that had translucent paper in it, and I discovered that that kind of paper was good for tracing illustrations and photographs from magazines. So I sometimes use that paper to get illustrations that I like seeing, see how well I could draw them myself. And as I mentioned, I think one favorite illustration was from a National Geographic magazine that showed braless beauties in what was portrayed as an ancient biblical times downtown Jerusalem scene, a market scene. Of course, in the scene, they all look completely safe, and at that time, I wouldn't have ever imagined any danger against ladies. But as I'm speaking, one of the corrupt old men of the bad variety of gays wanted to emphasize the word market in a sinister sounding way. So anyway, I used the paper. I don't remember the details, but that was probably one of the illustrations, and there were others. Like I said, I didn't really think so much of Mad Magazine, but the Mad Magazine had interesting cartoon kind of illustrations, but realistic looking illustrations of pretty young women. So I sometimes traced from Mad Magazine also. And what I did was I transposed the paper to regular paper, and then I added coloring. I used colored pencils, and I also had some oil pens, or oil crayons, or whatever they're called. So anyway, the pictures are really fairly good. And I remember one day I wanted my mother to see one of them, and I stood to the bedroom hall and the hall outside my bedroom. And when my mother saw the photo, she blushed right away. And I guess that was because at the time I decided it was probably because that she was kind of embarrassed that her son was already interested about pretty ladies. So anyway, that was probably sometime in '67, maybe in '68, '68. But what happened is that my father, Albert Hartman, had faked his death in early '67, like I had mentioned in other. I know that sounds kind of abrupt to use those words, but it's true. And it turned out to be, to the best of my knowledge, the evidence through the recent years, including his own commenting, is that he lived on to be secretly a gay, and so he had bad attitudes against my progressions being normal, and also there's been a clear indication that he, for some reason, in some way, blamed me about him deciding that he should stage his death and live on in secret instead. Anyway, I don't know details about that. But soon after Albert Hartman, a former associate of Albert Hartman's by the name of William Love showed up on the scene. He had also already been acquainted with my mother. He ended up marrying my mother in 1968. So anyway, Bill Love, the name Love, arrives on the scene during the same time during that time frame, that instead of being interested in the neighbor boy like they had used to reason, that I was liking to sketch pretty ladies, and the Traces of Love song occurred in 1968. Well, back then it was a popular song. The instrumental of it sounds really nice, but it's by a German composer though, named Bert Kaempfert, and uh, I think there's indication that maybe he was somewhat an acquaintance with a grandfather who staged his death some years later in 1978 or 79, whom had been a musician with the orchestra and ABC Orchestra and ABC Orchestra in Chicago, the CBS Orchestra in Chicago earlier in the century. So he was also a music teacher in the Tampa area, whatever. But anyway, the song, what I learned most recently and caused me to worry about it pertains to the song, that at first, you know, it's a very nice sounding song, and is that the German name of it, a reference that I consulted, is known for some reason as Terror After Midnight. Now think about that. You know, a song that has a really nice tune about it, and you know, sings traces of love, you know, and you know, it sounds so nice. But for some reason, the German name is Terror After Midnight. So what does that mean? So then you think of what the other definition of the word trace is. Will you ever find a trace of it? You know, could there ever be a trace somewhere that instead of your interest would be something of love, or like traces of love's activities or something like that? So the theory is, and the concern, the worry is that that my father was involved with attitudes and maybe activities against women, and that Bill Love was associated with those kind of activities, and that they were both secretly affiliated with Germany somehow, with some kind of with the kind of Hitler kind of conspiring, and that a clue about it ended up being the Traces of Love song. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that the concern continues, and I'm always for the ladies being safe and stuff. Have a good day.